partial sum addition. So we're going to look at partial sum addition and also talk about why it's actually called partial sum addition. We're going to do 2 digits plus 2 digits. So let's get into our problem. Okay, so we're going to take the problem 65 plus 39. So the first thing I want you to notice is that this area right down here looks different than the traditional addition problem. So this is our workspace. We actually have two different workspaces. We have a space over here, and we have a space over here. Okay, and let's get into the problem, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually draw in our place values, like this. So this is the ones place. Now, you don't actually have to draw on the place values, but I do it just to demonstrate what these numbers really are. So we're in the ones house, so the 5 is really 5 ones, and the 9 is 9 ones. Right here is the tens house, or tens place, so ones place, tens place. So the 6 is really a 60. It's in the tens place, 6 tens. The 3 is really a 30. It's in the tens place, 3 tens. Okay, I'm also going to draw in a hundreds house because we're going to need it right next door right here. Okay, so let's now add. So 9 plus 5 is 14, but what we're going to do is we're going to put this over in our workspace and this workspace over here. So 9 plus 5 equals 14. So we're gonna go right over like this, and we're gonna put the 1 here and the 4 here. Now, why did I put the 1 right here? Well, I put the 1 here because the 1 is really a 10. It's 1 10. So the 10 should be in the tens place. And the 4 is 4 ones. So the 4 is in the ones place. All right, so the second step now is to add this column. So 3 plus 6 is 9, but is this really a 3 plus 6? No, as you know, it's a 30 plus a 60. So we're going to do this. 30 plus 60 equals 90. So you're seeing the value of this right here and having the child actually write out 30 plus 60, because it's easy to say 3 plus 6, but if they write out 30 plus 60, then they really can get that this is not a 3 and a 6, is a 30 and a 60 equals 90. And again, you come right over here, and you put the 9 right here because it's really a 90, 9 tens, and there's 0 ones. Okay, so we stack the numbers on top of each other as well. Okay, that's called stacking, the 14 right on top of the 90 there. All right, so now we simply add up our place value. So 4 plus 0 is 4, and 1 plus 9 is 10. And for right now, I'm going to put a 0 right here. I'm going to come back to this, and we're going to carry the 1, quote unquote, carry the 1. Again, we're coming back to this. Now, it's okay to put the 1 here, but I'm circling it just so you know it's not 114. And we did what we were supposed to do on this part and put the 14 and 90 here, but it's okay to go ahead and carry the 1 and put this up here. Okay, so now we have 1 plus 0, and we bring it down, and our answer is 104. Alrighty, so now let's take about a minute and kind of go over this problem a little bit in more detail for a couple of things here. Okay, so the first thing is, notice how when I put the 9 plus 5 equals 14, I put the 1 here and the 4 here. In the standard fashion, we would have put the 4 here as we did, and then put the 1 right up here. But as you can see, that 1, if it was right here, it's really a 10. And so when you just bring the 1 over here, which we call regrouping, this is regrouping the 10 right over here. You can see it's 1, 4. It makes more sense that it's actually 14. And a child can see that. Okay, so the next thing is when we added 1 plus 9, we said that equals 10. And so we put a 0 here and carried the 1. But what did we really do? This is also regrouping. This 1 is really a 10. I'm going to go ahead and just write on this, even though you wouldn't normally do this. But this 1 is a 10. It's in the tens house. And the 9 is really a 90. It's 9 tens. So 10 plus 90 is 100. Let's go ahead and just kind of put a dotted line here. Well, 100 cannot be in the tens house, so we actually had to regroup the 100 and put it in the hundreds house. So as you can see, this 1 is really 10 plus 90 regrouped into the hundreds house. So the 1 is really 100. And we can basically cross this out because we just put it over here in the hundreds house. So when we add the tens column, it's going to now be 0 plus 0, and that equals 0. So that's why this is really 0. And so when we add the hundreds house, it's going to be 100 plus 0, which is 100. So that 1 means 100. So that's what carrying really means. It really means regrouping, and that's the new terminology you're going to hear is we regrouped. The last thing we're going to look at is, why is this called partial sum addition? Where does that come from? Well, 9 plus 5 equals 14. So 14 is the sum of 9 plus 5. So 14 is part of 104. So it's part of the sum of 65 plus 39 is 104. So 104 is the sum of these two numbers, okay? And 14 is part of that number. So 30 plus 60 is 90, and just like 14 was part of 104, 90 is a partial number or a partial sum of 104. So hence the term partial sum addition. Okay, so now we're done, and that's partial sum addition, 2 digits plus 2 digits. Thank you.